Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first ever Music Major virtual live info session. Um, I hope that I am talking to an audience tuning in from YouTube and or Instagram Live. At this time, if you are joining us this evening, go ahead and share this live with a friend. And let's populate the live here. As we're going through our session tonight, feel free to think of some questions and drop those in the chat. And we will be monitoring those throughout tonight's session. We're going to cover a lot of topics tonight in a short amount of time. We're going to start with a music careers presentation. So what career paths can I take with a music degree? Then we're going to talk a little bit about music degree concentration offerings at EKU. And then we're going to hear a little bit from our applied faculty colleague representatives tonight, Doctors Adria Sutherland and Brad Granville. They're going to talk a little bit about applied lessons at the collegiate level and what they're looking for in the School of Music audition. We're also going to hear a little bit from Dr. Rich Bird, who is on our theory faculty here, and he's going to talk a little bit about music theory and oral training and that experience here at EKU. Then our Director of Choral Activities, Dr. Richard Waters, is going to talk a little bit about the piano class requirement. And then we're going to hear from Dr. Jill Campbell. She's going to talk a little bit about our audition dates for the 2025-2026 academic year here at EKU. And this year, we've added a satellite audition location in December. And so we'll talk more about that later. And then you're going to want to stay on because we're going to bring up current EKU music students for a Q&A panel. And so they're going to be here and talk a little bit about their firsthand experience and their perspective as current music students and what it's like to be a music major in college. So again, throughout the event, I'm going to keep referencing a form that you can complete if you're interested in learning more about music at EKU. Please feel free to complete and submit that form. And then we will follow up with you and answer any questions that you might have. And we'd also love for you to visit us as well. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our music careers presentation. All right. Here we are. Okay, I'm super thrilled to have this opportunity to share information about careers in the industry that I love very, very much. So here's what we're going to cover in the next 10 minutes. I'll give you a moment to read through those topics. The music industry is constantly evolving, offering a wide array of careers, from traditional roles like performance and education to newer opportunities in technology and business. And of course, the emerging opportunities in the digital realm. There's something for everyone with a passion for music. I want to start by debunking a prevailing myth that choosing a career in music means choosing a life of instability and poverty, sometimes referred to as the starving artist, the struggling creative, or starving for one's craft. It's a common belief, but it's simply not accurate. The fact is, the music industry has evolved significantly and continues to expand dramatically. And this statistic on the screen is from the Americans for the Arts report titled Business and Employment in the Arts, Measuring the Scope of the Nation's Art-Related Industries. Contrary to this long-held starving artist stereotype, music careers offer financial stability, with median and annual incomes ranging from $49,000 to $79,000, and leadership roles commanding salaries upwards of $230,000 and much more. And this is from the U.S. Department of Labor report, post-COVID report. Settling for uninspiring work is not a great option. And since who we work with is often as important as the work we do, a career in the music industry surrounded by creative, diverse, and passionate individuals offers unlimited opportunities to build a life doing what you love. So we're going to talk a little bit more just here briefly about some of these career options. But a lot of times I hear that the only two options I have with a music degree is to teach or perform. And those are two phenomenal options and viable options. But there are so much more. So I believe our director is going to drop a link in the YouTube chat. And you can also find this link in the School of Music Instagram bio to a handout that's associated with the rest of the content on these slides. So I've highlighted a random sample of careers in music. And as you can see in the background, in the tiny print back there, that there are hundreds and hundreds more. If you access that handout in the Instagram bio or the YouTube chat, you can see more there listed out. So now that you've seen a sample of music careers, let's talk about some of the pathways to getting there and what EKU offers. Degree programs at EKU offer comprehensive training in formal education. We offer training in performance, composition, education, industry, and more. And Dr. Wiggins is going to talk about those here in just a little bit. A music degree from an accredited university provides a solid foundation for pursuing a career in music. And so formal education is one of those pathways. Internships, from music industry internships to student teaching in the music education degree. We offer hands-on experience, and that's an excellent way to learn the ropes from professionals in the fields. These opportunities can also lead to valuable connections and job opportunities down the line. Excuse me. We also offer private lessons. Developing individual skills is an important technical and creative process in the music industry at large. Private lessons with a skilled teacher provide personalized instruction tailored to specific needs. We also offer entrepreneurship. The music industry is filled with successful entrepreneurs. Whether starting a new music teaching business, developing a product or service, establishing a record label, or organizing concerts, creative energies to share, engage, and teach often lead to successful careers. We offer coursework on entrepreneurship in the music business at EKU. And finally, networking. And so attending events like the KMEA conference, the International Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic, and job fairs offer valuable opportunities to meet industry professionals and explore job prospects. People in music and the arts thrive on networking and collaborating to expand their ideas. It can also develop skills and job options. At EKU, we highly encourage and support these annual networking opportunities. And these are just a few examples of what EKU has to offer, but the possibilities are endless. So it's really important to expose yourself to these options and begin exploring. Now let's look at a few skills and helpful personality traits that may contribute to success in some of the careers mentioned earlier. As I share these, I want you to notice how the personality traits and life skills you are developing to be a successful music student are many of the same life skills that are the foundation of a successful music career. Let's look at music educator. So some skills are music proficiency, teaching ability, curriculum development, and communication. Personality traits, patient, passionate about music and teaching, adaptable, and empathetic. So if that sounds like you, perhaps a career as a music educator and music education could be something to consider. Now you're going to notice some crossover personality traits and skills as we continue on down the list. But I'm curious if any of these ring true in our audience. Performer, songwriter. So some skills: musical ability, lyric writing, stage presence, audio recording basics. Personality traits: creative, persistent, self-promoter, resilient. Recording engineer, some skills, technical proficiency, especially in studio equipment and software, musical arrangement, project management, networking. Personality traits, leader, detail-oriented, innovative, communicator. I'll give you two more here. Marketing strategist, skills, market research, strategic planning, digital marketing, data analysis, personality traits, creative, analytical, adaptable, communicative. And last but very much not least, instrument tech. So some skills here, technical expertise with musical instruments, problem solving, organization, communication, personality traits, detail oriented, calm under pressure, reliable, and passion for music. I've shared a lot of information in a very rapid fire style, so please feel free to drop some questions in the chat, and I'll get my director to translate those to me, and I'll work to respond to those throughout this evening's session. At the end of the session, actually, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now. You're going to see a QR code right here that links to a form where you can request more information about music at EKU or schedule a visit. And again, that's going to be dropped in our YouTube chat. And you can find that on the School of Music Instagram bio as well. Here are also some resources. If you think about that a career in music could be for you, I encourage you to also use these as a jumping off point to start thinking about your journey. And you can also always email any of the EKU faculty for guidance. We are very, very happy to help. Definitely utilize the resources by the NAM Foundation. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing now. And next up, we're going to have Dr. Tim Wiggins talk a little bit about music degree concentration offerings here at EKU.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Wiggins. It's good to see all of you. And I wanted to talk a little bit about our different concentrations and kind of some of the really unique classes that we offer that will help you get to that career choice that you really want. All of our music degrees are designed around you being a music professional first. So we want to make sure that you have the right skills to be a performer, to be a musician, to understand the basics of music theory and music ensemble skills, along with taking applied lessons and getting a really good sense of who you are as a musician. So all of our musicians at the School of Music look to go through a series of applied lessons and let us get to a point where you can do a recital on your own and you can perform, but also give you an opportunity to go into one of our 4 concentrations. So the first one I'd like to touch on is our music industry program. And the idea behind our music industry concentration is if you're interested in moving into the broad sense of what the music industry is, maybe it's recording or supporting musicians, working as an entrepreneur in the industry, working in churches. There's all kinds of different ways that we prepare you to do that through talking about the concepts of the music industry classes, looking at American popular music, talking about live and recorded sound and how we do that. And our students finish their study in the industry program with a capstone where they're working on a project with other students in the program to design the things that evolve with the industry. Our students also spend a cooperative study or an internship with local businesses, so they get their feet into the industry while they're still working here at EKU. Some of our students want to write music, and we have a music composition program that really focuses on allowing them to understand some of the concepts of writing music and diving deeper into the theory, and gives them practical opportunities to write music for performers here at the School of Music, and leads them to additional study, moving into a master's program. And so our students in the composition program really focus on understanding everything that they need to be successful in orchestrating and writing music for all kinds of different genres. They get one-to-one private instruction, not only on their instruments like all our music students do, but also in the art of composition, and working one-to-one with our compositions faculty to really refine their craft and prepare themselves for the next step in the industry or in a master's program. Moving to our performance program is designed to not only allow you to move into either a private studio or large ensemble type performance experiences, but gives you enough background to be able to go on for further study and to really become an expert in the field of performance. So a lot of our performance students we do a lot of focus on understanding our instrument and a deeper understanding of performance literature and understanding the struggles and the challenges that work around live performance and how to deal with musicians' health and being able to share those things with a studio or with moving into another type of performance within the higher ed. So, and then that kind of leads us to our music education program. And our music education program focuses on making sure that our music students are prepared to teach in the K-12 schools. And so this means if you're looking to be an elementary music teacher and working in the general music settings in elementary school, we prepare you to be able to do that. We prepare you to work in the secondary programs, such as secondary choral in middle school or high school, or secondary band or orchestra in the middle schools and high schools. So this prepares you for a career into the K-12 system here in Kentucky, which will lead you to other places if you want to teach in other parts of the country. So this allows you, and we focus on some of the fundamentals of education and then take you through understanding the different instruments and the different components of vocal technique and making sure that you have all the skills that you need to teach in a 21st century classroom, not only just the instruments and the traditional band and orchestra, but also leading into understanding how technology works in the classroom and the current technologies that are happening in our education classrooms so you can be a leader in that field as well. So that kind of gives you an overview of our different programs and the type of coursework that we're looking at in each of those programs. I'm going to send it back to Dr. Daniel for the next step. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wiggins, for that information. And again, if you have any specific questions about the music degree concentrations here at EKU, you're encouraged to drop those questions in the chat, or you can complete the Google form request, also linked in the YouTube chat and in the School of Music Instagram bio. If you're tuned in right now, share this live with a friend. Next up, we're going to hear from our professor of clarinet, Dr. Adria Sutherland, as well as our professor of horn, Dr. Brad Granville.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. As Dr. Daniel said, I'm Dr. Sutherland. I am the clarinet teacher here, and Dr. Granville, professor of horn, and I are going to talk about applied lessons for you a little bit. So Dr. Daniel and Dr. Wiggins touched on this just a little bit already about applied lessons, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail for you. So when you're a music major, regardless if you are a woodwind player, brass player, guitar player, vocalist, you are going to be taking a weekly private lesson. We call them applied lessons with the professor that corresponds with you. And they are about an hour a week, generally. They usually take place in your applied professor's office, and we work on all kinds of things. One of the coolest things about it, I think, is that this is completely for you as a musician. It is totally individualized instruction for you to help you become the best musician that you can possibly be. And we start from wherever your skill level is currently. Your applied teacher is going to listen to you play and talk with you and learn about your background. And then we go forward from there. They're going to identify some strengths and some weaknesses and really assign you things to do for your private lessons. You'll be daily practicing and preparing for them just like you would a regular class. And all the assignments that they give you are going to be tailored to your needs as an individual musician to help you get to be the best that you can possibly be. So some of those might be scales, some technical exercises. Sometimes it might be etudes. You might be working on some solo pieces. with piano or without piano. And a lot of times also we can use that time to work on your large ensemble music. You know, if you're on wind ensemble or concert band, orchestra, choir, your applied lesson teacher can help you with that music so you can feel really super confident when you go in to your next rehearsal. And a big component of private lessons each semester also are juries. So your jury, it kind of sounds scary, but it's not. It happens at the end of each semester, and it's kind of like your final exam for private lessons. It happens during finals week, and what you'll do is you'll work on a solo piece with your applied teacher, and then you get to perform it for faculty members. So if you're a clarinet player, you're going to play for the woodwind faculty. If you're a percussionist, you're going to play for our percussion faculty, and so on and so forth. And like I said, it's kind of like a final exam. You get feedback from those faculty members and constructive criticism. So the main point of it is just to make sure that we're sort of tracking your progress throughout your time at EKU, and making sure that you're getting better and better, and just providing you with some really good, helpful, constructive criticism. And then another part of applied lessons is going to be your weekly studio time. So this is where, and this is in addition to your one-on-one private lesson, your weekly studio time, you're going to get the opportunity to be together with your other studio members. So in my case, all the clarinet players at EKU get together. I'm there as well. And that's a great opportunity for us to work on group instruction. You know, maybe there's an articulation exercise that everybody's working on, or we can listen to some new music together and learn some literature. Or a lot of times people use that as an opportunity to play for each other. So you get a great experience in practicing performing in front of people with a really supportive environment with your friends there. And then the people who are in there, your studio members, get the great opportunity to maybe hear some new music that's not familiar to them, as well as getting the practice of listening to somebody else playing and also providing feedback to them. Overall, private lessons, it happens throughout your entire time during your degree. So all 4 years, every single semester. And the coolest thing about it is, like I said before, it's just completely individualized, tailored instruction just to you. So I'll pass it on to Dr. Granville, and he can talk about the audition process.
Cool. Thank you, Dr. Sutherland. So as part of your application process to EKU, you will form out a standard application to the university, but you will also complete an audition to the School of Music. You'll be able to audition on one of 4 audition days, and you'll hear more about that from Dr. Campbell a little later on. All of our audition requirements are available to see on the School of Music website, and you can also reach out to the faculty member listed under your specific requirements if you have any questions. Typically, you'll need to have a variety of solos and etudes prepared, but check out the website for specific requirements for you. It's also important to know that we know that the audition process can be kind of scary. We all have been through the process before, so we know it can be really nerve-wracking. And at the end of the day, we want to make the process really enjoyable for you. Now, for your auditions, you may think that we are expecting you to be perfect, but we actually use these auditions just as an assessment of getting to know you as a player and as a person. We just want to see where you're at and you're playing. And we all want you to remember that we are always working on things, whether we're students or even the applied faculty. We're always working on things in our playing. The auditions are also a chance for you to get to know us. You want to think of the audition process as a two-way street. It's just as important for you to see if the applied teacher is going to be a good fit for you. And you want to think about what Dr. Sutherland said before. Your applied faculty teacher is going to be the person you really spend the most time with at the School of Music. You are going to see us once a week for basically your entire time in the School of Music. And you have to know that we are committed to helping you achieve your goals, no matter what they might be, whether you want to be a band director, a choir director, if you want to play in an orchestra, if you want to write music or anything else in music, we want to help you support your goals. Now, at the audition, at the end of the day, the most important things that we're looking for are students who are excited for careers in music and excited to work with others in accomplishing their goals, no matter your current level. And again, if you have any questions about the audition process, please don't hesitate to reach out to your applied faculty. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Daniel.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sutherland and Dr. Granville. Now, listen, if you're on Instagram Live right now, I want you to go ahead and hit share video and share this live with one of your friends. Whether it be a friend that you know might be interested in the content or not, just go ahead and share the video with one of your friends. You know, when you click share video, all their little bubbles come up. Go ahead and just share. Now, also my people in the YouTube chat, I see a question here. We're going to get to that in just a minute. Please feel free to continue dropping questions in the chat throughout the session. Our next segment, we're going to talk a little bit with Dr. Rich Bird, who's on our theory faculty, and he's going to talk a little bit about music theory and aural training. Dr. Bird. Maybe. Unmute. Can you click unmute on your end? Okay, not hearing your audio. So what we're going to do, Dr. Bird, is we're going to send you back down to the studio and have you troubleshoot that. And we're going to go on to Dr. Richard Waters, our Director of Choral Activities, and he's going to talk a little bit about the piano class requirement. Dr. Waters, I'm going to bring you up here. Hey,
come on. Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. Richard Waters. I'm the Director of Choral Activities. I direct 2 of the choral ensembles here at EKU and assist with the undergraduate conducting sequence and work with our graduate students in conducting. So naturally, I'm here to talk to you about piano and how that will fit into your first 2 years as a music major. If you are not a piano major, you will take a 4-semester sequence that's just designed to give you some of the basics of keyboard skills and techniques, perhaps some beginner to intermediate level repertoire. Now, if you already play the piano well, there are other options for you. You can sign up to take private lessons with one of our piano faculty that are tailored to your level, or you can even try to simply test out of the requirement altogether. But the idea is that everyone leaves EKU with a strong piano foundation, but there is some flexibility in the curriculum if you already have some of those skills covered. So I know some of you may be thinking, why do I even have to take piano? And I'm glad you asked. First of all, piano literally helps you see the music more clearly. On the keyboard, everything is laid out visually in front of you. It's at your fingertips. The scales, chords, harmony, intervals, it's all right in front of you, which is going to make music theory and sight reading and ear training click in just a very tangible way. More so than on some of the other instruments where if you play the trumpet and there are 3 valves and you play in different combinations and it's the embouchure, but everything on the keyboard is right there in front of you so you can see and feel and hear the harmony all at the same time. Second, piano is going to help you support yourself and others. For instance, for the singers, the piano is a common companion in your lessons, in your own private individual practice, to check pitches or even see how your vocal part aligns with the accompaniment in the piano. Percussionists can use these skills to make an even stronger connection to mallet instruments like the marimba and vibraphone. If you're interested in composing, the piano can help you experiment with harmonies and different voicings and textures. And conductors like myself and Dr. Daniel, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Wiggins often use the piano to study and analyze full scores when we don't have a full ensemble available in front of us. And then finally, the piano just prepares you for the professional world, whether you want to perform or compose or teach. Piano skills will simply make you more versatile and marketable. You could find yourself coaching a singer or leading a rehearsal, perhaps writing a piece, or even just checking a chord in a piece that you're working on. You'll be more confident and capable because you have those piano skills to rely on. So the point is not to turn you into the next world's greatest concert pianist. It's simply about giving you a solid foundation. Piano is one of the most useful tools that you'll use as a musician, and it's something that will strengthen your skills and expand your understanding and prepare you for the career that you're building. So I'm gonna, with that, toss it back to Dr. Daniel.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Waters. And again, that was our Director of Choral Activities talking a little bit about the piano class requirement. So again, if you are joining us right now or you're tuned in live, if you're on Instagram, go ahead and click share video and just spam everybody in your DMs. Okay. Just spam them. Also, if you're tuned in on YouTube, welcome to tonight's music major virtual info session. If you're just now tuning in, we have a couple of links in our YouTube description, also in the YouTube chat, and also in the School of Music Instagram bio, one of which is a Google form that you can complete if you want to know more about music at EKU, or if you'd like to schedule a visit and you want us to connect with you. Okay, so next we're going to try to bring up Dr. Rich Bird again and see if we can get his audio to come through. So I'm going to bring him back up here. Dr. Bird, talk to us. Oh, not quite. Dr. Bird, are you getting audio levels on your end? Okay. All right. We're gonna bring Dr. Bird back down into the studio, and we may try Dr. Bird once again here in just a little bit. But next, let's hear from Dr. Jill Campbell. She's going to talk a little bit about our audition dates and our newly revamped audition days here in the EKU School of Music. Dr. Campbell.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here with you. My name is Jill Campbell, and I teach in the music education department, and I also direct one of the choirs at EKU, the treble choir. I am so excited to share with you a bit about our audition days and what you can expect from that, because I know that that can cause a lot of stress and trepidation as well. When you first come to the audition day, you'll be greeted by some good old-fashioned EKU hospitality. We'll have a nice name tag for you to let you know that we are expecting you and that we're glad that you're there. We'll also have maybe some coffee there for you and your family. You may have brought a parent or a friend with you, and we can't wait to welcome them as well. During that time, at the beginning of the audition day, we actually have some information booths set up for you that you can be around and be near during the beginning of that time. And so we usually have departments like the housing department, the College of Arts, Letters, and Social Sciences that can also talk about some of our academic things, as well as representatives from things like parking or student success. Also, we usually have a group there from our clothing closet and our called the Colonel's Cupboard, and we also have a food program for anyone for any reason that's needing a little bit of extra help. There's a lot of families on our campus that fit into that mold, and we just want to be a full community that has support for everyone. So we have that. Usually then we'll send you off to spend some time in a practice room. We'll keep your parents, though. They don't have to go with you, and they will stay with us. And we usually have a panel that will come talk to them and answer questions about things like housing and forms and financial aid and some things that they're thinking a lot about while you're thinking about your audition. We try to bring you all back together after that, send you over to the cafeteria where you can have some lunch and speak with both admissions counselors and potentially current students as well. We've set up following that portion, a campus tour that is specific for you as music majors and music minors and even music participants. We will take you around campus to the different parts led by our admissions office. This was a change that we made in recent years because what was happening is often students were coming and auditioning and were coming back a second day to do all their things with the admissions office. And we knew that we could handle that in one swoop. We also offer accommodations for that. If anyone needs any kind of physical accommodation for the campus tour, we make sure to provide that, as well as while you are in the cafeteria, if anybody would like to speak with anybody about nutrition and food allergies, that can also be accommodated during that time. Then we bring you back to the building, the Foster building, the music building, where you started your whole day. And we generally have you attend an ensemble rehearsal and potentially a class or a one-on-one session with who might be your private teacher. It depends on your instrument and who's available on that day. And so we try to just make an entire day out of it for you where you know that we are getting to know you. We are just very excited on audition days to welcome you, and I can't wait to show you that. One thing I did want to make sure to mention while we were all here together tonight is that there is going to be an audition in December, a day that we're going to have where we are going to be in Hardin County. We're coming to you, Hardin County, so get ready. We're actually going to come there and let you audition in that location. If that's closer for you or a better time for you, we would love to welcome you there. Of course, you won't get to do things like the campus tour and such, but you can come anytime for that. And we just want to make sure that you have plenty of time and opportunity to prepare for that. We will also do 3 on-campus audition days in the spring semester between January and February. Why is it so early, you might ask? Well, it's because by March 1st, we really want to have that completed for you so that we can work on your music scholarship package. That is a pretty hard deadline with our financial department, so we try to get all those audition days done ahead of time. Also, one last thing. If you cannot come to one of the days that we have scheduled, we will welcome you anytime you can come to campus. We'll make it work. We'll figure out how to get you in to visit an ensemble. We'll help set up your campus tour. But we just want you to come. We know that when you come, you won't be able to resist our campus. It is gorgeous. They call it the Campus Beautiful for a reason. So please look on our website for more audition information, and please come visit us. I can't wait to welcome you to EKU. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Campbell. And good evening. Hello again. Welcome back to everyone tuned in currently. If you're on YouTube Live, welcome. Love YouTube. What a phenomenal resource. If you're on Instagram Live, go ahead and click share video and spam everybody in your DMs. Okay. Now, next up, I'm going to bring back up Dr. Rich Bird, and we think we have his audio figured out this time. Can I get a drum roll, please?
Drum roll. How's that? Can you hear
There
drum roll?
he is. Awesome. Dr. Rich Bird on music theory and oral training.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. So as she mentioned, my name is Dr. Bird, Dr. Rich Bird, and I've been teaching at EKU for, this is my 19th year now, and I've been teaching theory for over 30 years. I got my master's in music theory and my PhD in music theory as well. So as you can tell, a lot of years of teaching, a lot of experience, and I love music theory. And I think you will too when you come to EKU. Music theory is one of those kind of problem children that gets a bad rap because people always tell you that theory is scary and intimidating, and it can be, depends on who's teaching it, but I will make sure that when I'm teaching it to you, that you will definitely understand everything and actually even enjoy it. And one thing I really a big goal and proponent of is that I wanted to show you how there is so much in the music theory curriculum that you're going to want. Not just one of those things, well, this is good for you and something you need, but this is actually something most students, I'm going to show them something that they're going to want for whatever their profession is. So like I said, I've been doing theory for a long time. I also teach theory at the Governor's School of the Arts. So I'm used to working with high schoolers and college students as well. And there is no entrance exam, so you don't have to worry about coming here and being prepared for it. However, I have put together a very nice handy dandy theory packet for you. It's a little handbook packet, and it is online at EKU's website. So if you go to our music department online there, then you can find that packet. It's a music theory handbook. And what you want to do with that is use that to prepare for music theory classes when you come to EKU. It's step by step. It's different chapters on different theory subjects that will help prepare you so that you can relieve yourself of all your trepidations of the subject. And so what I do is I explain things, and then we have a little like a worksheet assignment that you can do, and there's answers in the back. So if you get that and prepare that, then you will be totally prepared for when you come to theory. The other thing is, like I said, there's not any entrance exam or anything. And so I get a wide variety of students that come in. There's some people who've not had a lick of theory, and there's some people who are in there who've had a lot of theory or even taken AP theory. And so what I want to do is make sure that everyone can get through theory, no matter what your background. And so I start from the beginning. We might not take forever to go through everything, but I assume nothing in class. I assume that you know not 1 ounce of theory. And so I explain everything from the very beginning so that I catch everybody. And that's my goal, is to make sure whoever's in that room at the very day one kind of ends up there at the end, as long as you're willing to come to class and do the work. So like I said, there's the packet that's really, really good to have. And you will find that, like I said, what I do is, besides make the subject very understandable for you and something that's palatable to you and maybe even enjoyable, but I want to make it so that you realize how it's something not as just that it's good for you and something you need to do as a music major and required to, but it's something you're going to want in whatever field you end up doing within music. So that's one of the things that I really, really focus on, and I can show you that when you're a student at EKU. The one thing I want to particularly point out is that our classes, our theory classes, and I do all the freshman theory, so everyone would come through me, is that at EKU, we integrate both the written theory and oral theory together. They go hand in hand. And so instead of having separate classes on just written theory and separate classes on oral theory, it's one class of theory, music, applied music theory, that integrates both. So we might focus on one day or the other, but it's all integrated. And so some schools have it where it's separated, so that if you pass one and not the other, you have to kind of keep taking it over. So this is a kind of way to kind of balance that out. So we're doing both at the same time, and it's a good kind of a thing to reinforce each other as well. But I do want to say that one of the things that typically college programs do, and a lot of college theory faculty, is that a lot of the professors teach the written theory, and then a lot of times they have the GAs or TAs teach the oral theory component. And I think that oral theory component is equally, if not more important, than the written theory component. So I think it's very important that it's taught by a professor who's experienced with that. And I want to show you how important that oral theory component is. Again, something you're going to want and need. So all of you performers, your teachers, educators, conductors, industry people, everybody who's going to be touching music in some form, whether you're making the music, whether you're coaching the music, doing a master class on the music, you're mixing the music, you're going to want to have these particular skill sets of oral theory skills to be successful. And it's a very competitive field, music is. And so you want to have the edge up on your competition. And so these particular skill sets of oral theory, I think, is very, very critical. And so we do a lot of activities and a lot of instruction in that, and a lot of extra fun activities that you probably wouldn't typically find in a lot of other institutions. So that's my synopsis on theory.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Bird, for all of that great information. So if you're still here with us tonight, welcome. If you're new to the live, welcome. If you're joining us on Instagram Live, go ahead and hit share video and spam everyone in your DMs. If you're on Instagram, you can check out the EKU School of Music bio. There we have linked an interest form that you can complete if you're interested in learning more about music at EKU. And if you'd like to set up a visit, we'd love to have you. Also, if you're tuned in via YouTube Live, you can check out the chat. The form is linked there. It's also in the video description. Okay. So next up is one of my favorite parts of the evening. And I get to bring up some of our current students here at EKU now. So we have Alan Crump, we have Evan Mullins, we have Isaac Campbell, and Ashley Phillips, and Eva Cook, and Kylan Thompson. So as they're up here, I want you all to be, if you're tuned in, I want you to put in the chat some questions that you'd like to ask our student panel. So please drop that in the chat. We're going to be monitoring that. But first, can I have, let's see, Evan and Alan, and Kylan, you can chime in on this a little bit as well. Can you talk a little bit about life of being a music ed major and just kind of kickstart the conversation?
Yeah, so as a music education major, obviously the focus is that we want to go into teaching, into the music education field. And so as a freshman, you are loaded with a bunch of classes kind of early on. So, piano proficiency, all of the methods courses, you kind of get added on all at the same time. So, and it's a lot of 8 a.m. classes as well. So you have to always be on top of the schedule. So I like to keep a calendar. I think, Evan, you also keep a calendar, yeah?
I do. I just use the calendar on my phone, but it does help me keep track of everything we got going on.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So super busy, and you're taking a lot of small credit hour classes. Like ensembles are only 1 credit hour each. And so you're dealing with a lot of different time commitments. Now, as a music education major, I've made it a priority to get into the field and teach as much as possible. So I work with a lot of marching bands across the state in my spare time. What about you, Evan?
Yeah, I do the same. I like to help when I can. And one of my favorite parts about the education degree is that towards the end, your last few years, the focus really shifts to getting real observation in like real schools nearby.
Yeah.
So your final 2 years are really spent getting lots of observation hours in each grade level, like primary and secondary, and then your final semester is student teaching, where you get to do that full time.
Yeah, I'm in my sophomore year college right now, and I'm really enjoying like all of the different experiences of classes I get to take. Like I'm currently enrolled in special education, and like even though that doesn't necessarily compile with music education, I can still apply some of those ideas going into music education. But yeah, I really love being here. It's great.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And now I want to kind of toss it over to our performance majors, I think, or I think that's what Dr. Daniel was coming to do.
Yeah, so thank you guys for that information. Yeah, so for those of you in the chat, just a little quick overview. So the 3 students that you just heard speaking, Alan Crump, Evan Mullins, and Kylan Thompson, are all music ed majors. And Eva Cook and Isaac Campbell are music performance, and Ashley Phillips is music industry and music theater. Did I get that right, everybody? Awesome, cool. I'm seeing nods and thumbs up, so that's good data for me as the teacher. So yeah, we'd love to hear a little bit from Eva, as Alan said, Eva and Isaac, on your life as a music performance major. Whatever you'd like to share. What is your experience like? What are things that you have to really focus on in that concentration, etc.?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll start if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
that's all good. Go ahead.
Awesome. Awesome. So the music performance track at EKU it has a lot of similar classes to the education program, except instead of the education classes where you learn to teach, you have practice hours basically. So instead of actual classroom time, that's time that you're supposed to dedicate in the practice room to get better at your craft, and all this stuff that just really hones in your performing skills rather than your teaching skills. Um, but yeah, there are also a bunch of classes that involve the history of music performing as well. So like a performance literature class, for example. That's a big thing that we have here in the performance track, the later years at least. It's where you learn about the history of how your instrument was performed and the literature that was written for it and adapted for it and everything. So we have a lot of great opportunities here for performance. Eva.
Eva, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, for sure. One thing that I really appreciate about our university is that no matter what instrument you play or if you sing, we have really great high quality performance ensembles that you can audition for, such as university singers. There's the wind ensemble and the concert band, and then we also have a symphony orchestra. I'm the current concert master of our orchestra, and it's been going on great. We have an interim director right now, which is the husband of our violin professor, Dr. Scylla Darville. She's my teacher. I mean, we have like world-class faculty here. I think although we are a smaller school, I think it's definitely a diamond in the rough, if you will. But yeah, it's very high quality, and I've gotten a lot of opportunities through here, like going to different music festivals, playing in professional orchestras, professional choirs. So you get a lot of opportunity to hone in on your craft and start developing your career early.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. And I want to circle back in just a minute, Isaac and Eva, on something else in just a second. But I want to hear a little bit from Ashley. And Ashley, would you talk a little bit about your concentration area?
Yeah, so the music industry degree is kind of unique compared to the other majors in the sense that it's a lot of individual direction where you want to go. You can find different people to guide you in the right direction. So as a part of the major, regardless of what concentration as a music major, you always take your piano classes, the music theory, music history, the generalized music classes. But then as a music industry major, I've also taken a few music business classes. I've taken a history of the recording arts class. I also am required to take 9 hours of business electives. So this semester I'm taking a public relations course. Next semester I'm planning on taking an accounting course. So lots of a pretty broad understanding of how the music field ties into the business field and how those skills overlap with each other. So in that sense, I'm creating a lot of diverse experience and a lot of unique skills that can be applied to a lot of different careers. I'm also a musical theater minor, so I have been taking a lot of acting classes. I help build the sets for all of the shows, all the productions that I'm in. I'm obviously an actor on stage for all of the productions. So I do a lot of different things in comparison to the education majors and the performance majors. But it's making me a very well-rounded individual, and I've acquired a lot of really great skills over the years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley. And I want to hear a little bit, because some of you touched on opportunities that you've had here at EKU. And I know some of you went across the pond, if you will, this summer. I know one of you went up to Michigan and participated in a symposium there. And some of you have done some music festivals recently. So I'd love for some of you to talk a little bit about that and kind of what those experiences meant to you at this point in your career journey.
Well, this summer I had the opportunity to take a program through Keys, which is mainly ran through Western Kentucky, but it's for every college in Kentucky. And they took a group to Austria, specifically Salzburg. And the main focus there was kind of music history. You could take some other classes, but I think the main focus of the trip was to get well versed in history. But while I was there, I got to see some of like the original manuscripts that Mozart wrote. Got to see where he grew up and lived, the church he worked in. I took a class focused on his early life and the little bits and pieces that went into like writing his music and all the journeys he took and everything. And we took some time to visit Vienna and see all the history that there was there, the Beethoven house, Mozart's apartment he lived in while he was there, and the churches they worked at. It was really awesome getting to see all that history, but I also loved the opportunity to just practice and play in a new environment. And there were opportunities for performance there as well. I got to study with a professional horn player over there who's well known. He's got a really good album on Spotify as well. And I even got the opportunity to play a horn solo at the church, and the choir sang, our group sang a choir for their Pentecost service. And it was really awesome. There's tons of history, education, and even performance opportunities when you study abroad. And there's a lot of options offered through EKU and through other programs like that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Evan, actually, we missed each other in Europe, but we were kind of in the same vicinity. We were in the Bohemian region. And I was there not through study abroad through UKU, but I did the Prague Summer Nights Music Festival, and that allowed me to tour a few different cities over in Europe, Prague being the main name card city, but we also played in Tabor, Pilsen, in the Czech Republic, and then Vienna. We did a whole week of Mozart opera in Vienna, and the school did help me go there, and the school of music definitely supported my trip there. But yeah, the opportunity to go came through my teacher at EKU, Dr. Nathan Seiler, and he coached me to audition and go, and I actually was able to play the second trombone in the symphony touring these different countries. And there's definitely something to be said about how great it is to be able to go and see these new environments and go across the ocean and see just how different it is, because we have a lot of musical and cultural norms in the United States that are just completely different in Europe, and because over there it's not just classical music is not just something people enjoy listening to. It's their culture, it's their history. So you go around any of those places, and it's there's a statue of these well-known composers that you would never imagine seeing in the States. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot to be said about getting that opportunity through UKU to go play in Europe.
Yeah, for sure. I went to Brevard Music Center, their summer institute, it was almost 2 months long, from June 16th to August 3rd, in the mountains of North Carolina. I mean, the entire campus is in the middle of the woods, completely surrounded by mountains. I mean, you live in cabins. The practice rooms are cabins. It's pretty funny. I had such a great time. It was 7 weeks of rigorous orchestral rep. You did a new program every single week with new conductors and different seating. And it's one of the most prestigious in the country, if not the world. I mean, we had people from Greece, Trinidad, South Korea, and of course, like most all of the 50 states. And I had the privilege to be concertmaster for one of those concerts, and that was incredible. I was able to make connections with so many different faculty from around the world as well, and met some pretty amazing musicians and friends that I'll probably have for a lifetime. And I was, Dr. Darville was the one that urged me to do a festival like that. And that's the one I ended up choosing. And I ended up getting a pretty good scholarship for that. And a lot of it came through the School of Music. So there's a lot of opportunities over the summer that you can get through being a music major.
Awesome.
Yeah, And then over the summer, I went up to Michigan to the Michigan State University on their campus for a conducting symposium, a week-long conducting symposium, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had musically. So I was one of 8 undergraduate conductors that were selected for the symposium, and because of that, I was by far one of the youngest musicians there, and it was great to be in an environment where I definitely knew the least out of everyone that was present. There were people from at least half of the states, and there were a few people that were studying from international places. We had a couple of people from Singapore, and it was just super awesome to not only get to meet all of those people and learn about the craft of conducting from those people, but also getting the opportunity to conduct such high-level chamber musicians was really, really exquisite. So by far one of my favorite musical experiences, and I'm excited to hopefully take a trip across the pond like Mr. Evan and Mr. Campbell.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Well, I want to be mindful of my students' time because they have homework and assignments and things to practice and prepare for rehearsals this week. But definitely, you can feel free to connect with any of them. You can send them emails or connect with them on social media, and I'm sure they'll be happy to answer more questions that you might have about music at EKU. So thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here. And that's kind of the end of our session tonight. And so if you're tuned in and you are still thinking about wanting to learn more about music at EKU, if you want to learn more about our music concentrations at EKU, or you want to, let us know who you are and give us your contact information so that we can reach out and connect with you. And we'd love to invite you to campus for a visit. If you're an instrumentalist or a vocalist, and if you're looking to get involved in any music degree or concentration area, please complete that form. You can find it in the video description on YouTube. It's also linked in the chat, and you can find it in the EKU School of Music Instagram bio as well. But definitely connect, submit that information. We'd love to have you to campus and get you playing in one of these rehearsals one day. So thank you, everyone. And we hope to continue doing more content and events like this in the digital space so as to reach our digital audiences and just make what we have to offer more equitable in delivering that content to everyone everywhere. So hope you all have a good night, and go Colonels, 1 Eastern.